Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? I'm just grabbing my stuff. You know, like a total professional, I forgot to turn off. Forgot to turn off my central air before going live. So we got some real nice, you know, some real nice air conditioning noise going right now. But that should be switching itself off in the next couple minutes. You've seen the stream before. You know what we're about to do. We're about to start by getting this palette prepped. Excuse me. Oh, I choked on something there. Don't ask what. All right. You know, I like to use that distilled water. If you use distilled water, I find that you can. Oh, nice. And it's switching off. Is the music too loud now? Let me grab. Still on my jank setup, you know, with the whack tripod and with the whack tripod and my phone microphone and playing the music out the TV. But you know, I'm sorry, I don't think I ended up saying it. I use the distilled water because that way it won't get grody as fast. And we don't want it getting grody. I just put in a new sponge because the last sponge was getting a little grody. Which is going to happen if you leave water in an airtight container for long enough. It's going to get gross. I mean, obviously just pure water, no, but you get what I'm saying. And then we're just going to do the same. You certainly don't have to do any type of fancy water in... Certainly don't have to do any type of fancy water in there, but it's just easier that way. That way I don't have to walk to the tap. Yeah, the music's good. Thank you. Thank you. I found it myself. Like, yeah, it's just the free jazz I could get, you know? Because sorry for bumping y'all. But hopefully soon. I did go and look at laptops to replace my busted ass laptop. Looked at cameras the same day. What's up, everybody? Yo, what is up, Alan? How you doing? But I went and looked at laptops, went and looked at cameras, you know, expensive stuff. That shit is, but you know, we're trying to step it up. So sorry that I wasn't able to share the assembly of the models that we're going to be painting today. So this was the first Warhammer model that I've ever had trouble assembling. Yo, thank you, player. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. I don't even remember how I got these. I think I found them at a Goodwill or something. I just do this because I realized with this angle, until I'm able to get a superior angle going, I don't want people just having to stare at my toes. It's not that I am worried about people staring at my toes. It's that I don't want people to have to be subjected to that. It's out of concern for you. But we're just gonna cut our paper down, like always. But all right. And that's not going to be perfect, but it doesn't need to be. Actually, it looks like it came out very good. And the one time I say it doesn't need to be perfect, it comes out basically perfect. Love that. All right. I am thinking about doing a short about how I set this up. Just a little informational store. It looks like it needs a little more water under there. Let's throw some more water. Again, we're using the distilled water to try to prevent it getting grody. It'll still get grody after a while. You can't prevent that. If you're playing around with some water and then sealing it up in an airtight container, it will always get grody. And I know some people are really not bothered by that, but especially with a palette like this, where sponges are like literally like $1.50 to get to like just change out the sponge every couple weeks is not a big expense. All right. That's looking good. All right. So the reason I was not able to show assembling these is I've never been confused by Warhammer assembly instructions before. And, Evan, you had smoked a bunch beforehand. I've smoked a bunch before every Warhammer assembly. It hasn't been a problem. This one was super confusing. And let me show you for reference, all right? This is how many pieces were left over from the Kill Team Inquisitorial agents. All right? That's 11 miniatures. All right? What's up, Brian? What's up, Brian? That's decent. That's from 11 miniatures. This set has I believe 10 miniatures. These are all the leftover bits. The instructions were confusing, everything was impossible to find. It just was not conducive to doing on stream. I'm also fully open to the argument that there was a skill issue component. 10,000%. But you know what? We're moving on from that. So, let me see. Do I have this? All right. So let's examine box art. This really nice khaki and green pattern. I've selected the paints I want to use. I'm not sure on my green yet. I'm between a couple. My khaki, I'm sure I will be using Xandri Dust, which is, I believe, what they recommend using. Probably not, actually. They probably say it's probably like Cadian Fatigue or something like that. I don't know. It looks very similar, though, so it'll be fine. You'll see they have these little, the patterns in their camouflage. There is no, even on our big sheet of transfers that I'm not sure where I put. Oh, goodness. Oh, here it is. Even on our big sheet of water slide transfers, there is no such, even like a template for the camouflage pattern. So we would have to fully freehand it. And it's not just freehanding the splotches, it's like outlining them in white. We're not doing it, is my long way of saying. We're not doing it. These are the two greens I'm between. This is that's the khaki we're going to be pairing it with, but, So I'm thinking, I don't know, the more I look at it, it's these, right? It's those, right? And maybe this for, like, some details. Let's do that. Why so many? Well, it's so that you can assemble them in a couple of various ways, but so there's obviously a bunch of leftover components, but also there really just shouldn't be that many leftover components. I mean, I guess I'm not complaining because I have them now, and they're very nicely sculpted. Everything from Games Workshop is very nicely sculpted, so I'm not complaining to have it. Certainly not upset about it. Okay. So we'll put this over here for now, because we're just going to be rocking with those. If you're not in the Discord, which, by the way, you should join the Discord, I posted this in the extra content channel, I got confused while assembling the leader of the squad, and I put a grenade in his hand. I don't think he's supposed to have a grenade. I don't really plan on playing these on tabletop. This is just for this is a hobby and painting project. But I thought, how about we do something fun? And I took my Dremel and I chopped off his hand that was holding the grenade, and I used some cotton fluff and super glue to sort of give like a more organic shape to his stump. And I'm thinking we can do a combination of a bunch of these red paints. I have this transparent red Tamiya paint that I like to do for blood effects, so we can try that out. I don't know. Should we paint him today? Yeah, let's do him today. I don't know if we'll fully get to doing all his blood effects and stuff, but we'll start on him today. All right, what do we want? Palette there. Let's get these guys out the way. Wow, I've already started rubbing that off. That's crazy. Like from my hand. It's gonna look good. Thank you. I appreciate the support, the belief. All right. Where did I put the? Let's see. How do they have their boots done? Oh, it's an armor panel over their boots. Interesting. I didn't even see that. Okay. Well, let's start by laying down the Xandri dust, because that's obviously going to be our lighter color, and it's going to be easier to cover that than to do coverage with it. Yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. Totally fine. I'm going to brush. Let me get a brush. What brush do we want to use? I need to go to the art store in a few days. That might be a stream. Possibly. Could do a art store stream. Could do an IRL art store stream. We're shaking up our Xandri dust. We're about to throw it down on our palette. Straight throw it down. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna use our size 2 right now, I think. Get our brush holder involved over here. Alright. Oh, I need a paper towel. Yo, real ones know you always need to have the paper towel going. Paper towel on standby is a absolute must. Yo, I shouldn't be... I'm wearing a shirt I really like. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's foolish of me. Xandri dust is a very nice color. I was worried, like, oh, I don't want it to look too much like my Krieg army I'm planning on doing. I know that when I showed off the kill teams I could possibly paint next, the I'm a Death Corps of Krieg got a much stronger response than the Kasserkin kit, which is this kit. But I looked into it, and I actually think I'm going to end up doing a full army, or at least a half-scaled army, like 1,000 points, of just the Death Corps of Krieg. So I didn't want to start on a kill team immediately and not know like the overall plan for how I want stuff to look. But the positive response that idea got is sort of what's making me inclined to, not fully, but it's part of what's making me inclined to think, that should be my, the other army I look into, assembling and painting. This is like a really just casual paint because, like, you know, on these kill teams at least, I'm just doing real casual paint. And when I eventually am painting for the models that I want to be part of, like, larger scale armies, then I'm gonna, a lot of these models, it's gonna be hard to get to areas. Like, it's gonna be hard to get in there because of how I've assembled the model. For kits I care about more in the future, I may partially assemble it and then paint it partially assembled and then do a final assembly step. Oh, you're painting also? I saw you post the acrylic paints that you had in the on my Discord. Y'all, if you're also painting along with me, or if you're doing any other kind of art, we would love to see it. Y'all should join the Discord in that pinned comment. We would love to see your art. It does not have to be. It can be any type of art. We would love to see it. If you love sports, we're talking sports in there too. If you just like to joke around, we're joking around in there too. It's just good vibes all around. So consider joining. We are not worrying about overpainting on this. As I've said on other stuff, when we're doing this initial layer, I would rather overpaint than underpaint. Here is that a? How do they have that looking on? Yeah, they have that as the khaki part. Like, for example, we would paint the back and then put the backpack on, paint the backpack. So I wouldn't have, I wouldn't be missing little parts. But for these casual paints, it is whatever. This is much more about the journey than the final result. We're just having a good time chilling out. If this gets totally messed up, it totally is what it is. All right. We looking good for an initial coat on all the khaki areas? I think so. So let's wait a second on that to dry. While we wait on that to dry, oh goodness, got way too much in my brush. Get out of there. Yeah, this is what you don't want to happen. It's all up in my ferrule, up in the metal tube that holds the bristles. There's paint down in there. You don't want that to dry, or else it will. That's one of the main causes of your bristles splitting. Is paint getting up in that ferrule. You gotta get that out before it dries. It's like leaving water on a nice chef's knife. Hold on. Speaking of that, let's put it on our stand. Alright, what else do we have on here? Alright, so let's... in the meantime, in the interim, let's use this to just get a little bit more of that Xandri dust on there. Xandri dust sounds like a technical paint. Like it would be like, like something with like a lot of texture. In fact, that sounds like it would be Armageddon dust. But no. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Ooh, getting everywhere. I'm gonna have to clean that up. or else it's gonna dry and be a big old problem for me. Also, scooped way too much out. This has just been at least while we deal with this, everything's gonna have time to dry. Oh my goodness gracious! What an annoyance! I'm glad you're doing good, KG. I'm glad. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate everyone being here. Yeah, with these, you can't let the paint get in there and dry, or else it will prevent your thing from fully closing, which will dry it out, which we don't want. At least we're able to spend all this. At least we don't have to wait between coats of this. I've spent the time cleaning up my mess. Yay. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. We come here for the vibes are the product. I'm not sure how relaxing it was when I spilled the paint and had to deal with that, but I'm glad the vibes are working for you. All right. What an annoying thing. We're gonna shake up our green and lay that down too. What green is this? German uniform. It's from the Vallejo model color, so it's made for like historic minis. German uniform. All right, so we're gonna use our mustache man uniform pants. Oh, I really gotta shake this hoe. Damn. Fucking Vallejo not having a ball in their thing. Vallejo, no balls. Not really. This is outrageous. Like, if I squirt this out, hold on, where's the thing? This is gonna look stupid. That does not look like how it's supposed to, I don't think. Everyone complains about these being so hard to mix. These are fine, because they're big. All the liquid can move around. There's a bunch of empty space. These are easy to mix. These, if you don't have a mixing ball in these are damn near impossible to mix. Everyone is so upset. Oh, Vallejo does not pay their employees enough. Vallejo employees go on strike. Vallejo's biggest sin is not having a fucking like 0.1 cent like glass marble in here to have their paints mix better. Everyone else has it. Everyone else has it. But that's just how I feel. It is a nice color though. That is a nice color. Oh, sorry, that's Mustache Man uniform. Bad color. Bad color. Evil color. All right. throwing down another coat on these khaki bits. These khaki bits. So I'm okay overpainting onto plastic parts because I can repaint those super easy. I do not want to accidentally get any paint on the cotton though, because I don't know how that'll. I have a feeling whatever the first color is that takes is the color it's going to be. So I just am going to be careful. Thinning our paints. Keep your paints thin so we don't obstruct these nice details. Alright, boom, 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 boom. Laying it down under the backpack, under the backpack. Under the backpack. Mm-hmm. Seeing anywhere else we might need to apply another coat. But you know, we're just laying our khaki down. Maybe in this shoulder right here? We probably should put it right there, yeah. Alright, going down. Another right there on the underside of his elbow. Did y'all ever hear that fun fact that's like the skin on your elbow is called your weenus? Is that true? I remember that was like a funny haha growing up. But is that factual? Alright. I'm gonna need to do a second coat in his armpits again, but other than that, looking pretty good. You can't feel pain there. I feel like I do remember something like people were licking each other's elbows. I'm like, did you feel that? Y'all are freaks. Y'all some freaks. Good God. Alright. Start laying down some of this. Let's get a drop of water on our palette. So did y'all see how I said a drop of water and then a stream of water came out? That's my favorite. That's my favorite. All right, we managed to resuscitate it. Okay. Yo, stream highlights. Live stream fails. Drop of water incident. Oh, I haven't painted in a few days. My hands are shaking like a crackhead. I need to lock. I need to lock in. Hey, can I get someone to do a little bit of research for me right now? What's the YouTube community guideline stance on an LSD painting stream? Is that approved? Probably not. It's probably got to be like for research purposes. Yeah, I bet I just answered my own question. We're just throwing down this mustache man green. And some big wide coats with our number 2 brush. Wear a white lab coat while doing it. That would definitely lend us legitimacy. I'm sorry I said us. I did not mean to implicate you. Although just know when I say I have medical staff on standby, I'd be talking about Tyler. What a ghastly thought. It's like... Oh, yeah. Oh, starting to come together. Starting to look like a true guardsman. I mean, I already should wear an apron, honestly. I get paint on all my clothes. That's real. Why are these drawing as different colors? I don't like that. Why are those different colors? What the hell? Starting to think it wasn't mixed enough. All right. Oh, sorry, my drank is all up in your way. Bro, where's his Venmo to the finger painting, the finger painting live stream? Real. They call me the Venmo villain. Oh no, I know I got paint all up in the brush. You'll see. Hold on. What a real problem. What a real and relatable problem. Right, nice. What's that need to be? That needs to be black. Okay. Yeah, later. Hitting his gauntlet. All right, that's his hand that he still has left. I'm just it's not that big a deal, yeah. Sorry, y'all. I didn't realize that if I checked Tyler's text, it would kick y'all off. I figured my phone could multitask, but I guess not. Phone just like Tyler. That's so funny. Hmm. Well, my fuck ass neighbors are up to something. I hope that bitch watching the stream. I'd shoot a double leg on her. Nah, but I've told you about who used to live under me, so I'm actually tripping. Hitting my man's boots right now. They were made for walking. All right. Just throwing down a first little patchy coat on the boots, or the boot covers, I guess. Let's take a sanction break to shake this paint some more, because this shit is whack. Where is it? Where'd it go? It's trying to hide from me. It knows it's in trouble. Oh, I'm being objectified like Tyler, but it's by Tyler. Oh, I forgot to do his helmet too. That was silly of me. How silly of me! I forgot to do his helmet. Just hitting his helmet, getting his helmet right. You feel me? It needs another coat or two, but that's fine. Everywhere does. Oh, and his mask too. Oh, sorry, y'all. Alright, hitting his mask. His tiny mask. Are y'all able to see that? Okay. His tiny mask. Tiny mask. His tiny mask. His tiny mask. Tiny mask. Oh my goodness, what a pain this is to paint. Tiny mask. Alright. Let's get a new paper. I'm not liking how this one's working for us right now. I need to go through this away. It was me. I just went off stream so I could be outside your window. It was us that made eye contact. All right. Yeah, there's paint down in there. I can see it. What an annoyance. Alright, no left to do. Alright. Ooh, hitting you all around. So sorry, sorry. Alright, let's recut our recut the paper. Boom, boom, boom. Your new owner with Thor. It'll be fun. We're not that worried about it. Is there enough water on here? Not nearly. That's part of our problem. There we go. Slide it up this way a little bit. Wrinkles out. Da, da, da. All right. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you do like board boards. There we go. A beautiful, flat, and semi-permeable wet surface. Get this shit out of here. All right. Sorry, that was not very chill vibes. I actually had the same thought earlier. I had the same thought. Now I'm gonna lie, Tyler. I thought the same thing about like, what if I like not like I was gonna do it, but like, no, doctor, I wasn't actually gonna do it. I was just thinking about it. Story of my life, though. All right. Get the extra paper off. All right. All right, and we're all reset. Let's get this bitch shook up. All right, let's chat. Let's chat for a minute or two while we shape this. All right, what's up with everyone? Now we're gonna need our Xandri dust too, but this shake's easy, so I'm not even worried about that. This, however, this little bastard Non-homogenized. I'm not even sure there's proof that Tyler and I are two different people. You should listen to neither while you clean. You should listen to this while you clean. Judas. Bro, this paint. What a Vallejo moment. It's okay though. Certified Vallejo moment. Yeah, it's still not mixed all the way. I don't even care though. I don't even care. Why do you need to listen to music? There's already music in this stream, Yaya. You're just getting caught up right now. It's never my intention to expose you like this. Actually, I need that. Okay, Sandra Dust, you have been enough trouble. What if I watch South Park while I have a stream on my phone? What an outrageous proposition. I'm not really a South Park enjoyer. I enjoy learning about South Park, but I'm not really a South Park watcher, if that makes sense. It's like Star Wars. I like to learn about Star Wars, but I'm not really... I've spent more time playing the South Park video games than I ever have watching the show. Your girl said weird? Crazy. She calls me weird. Okay. Alright, we're gonna try the Citadel starter brush. I've never actually tried this brush before. We're gonna see what it's like. Oh, we might immediately stop using it. Yeah, I don't love this. This sucks. We're not using this brush. It also feels bad. Everything about this brush is awful. And we're not gonna use it. We'll use that for like gross paints. Where's my good brush? Yeah, there we go. Give me this. Right. Oh, the gun we're doing blue, by the way. A dark blue. It's gonna look awesome. That's the main thing you need to know, is that it's going to look awesome. If you take anything away from this, just be mentally prepared for it to look so fucking up. It's just so awesome. Right. Double and triple coating all of our little spots to get the color laid down thick and even. Well, not thick, but a few thin coats that will make it opaque. That's what I should say. Not thick, but opaque. Thick is the wrong word. Thick is definitely not the right word. Do not want your paint to look thick on the model. Alright. Color of the backpacks. Backpack's probably green too, huh? Yeah, should probably paint that. And guess what? If backpack's not green, it'll be fine. I mean, if it's not in the box art, it is now. And that's fine. It really truly is not that big a deal. I make the antenna black. That might look cool. It's kind of like doing a Space Marine, honestly. It feels very similar to that. But we're just throwing the paint down, using the water, thinning it out. We need to get paint in all those little vents, which we'll obviously get later with a wash, but right now we just want to base coat everything. You know, we don't want to be like, oh, I'll save XY part. No. All right. Looking like we're ready to attack it with another Xandri dust, but this time, obviously, smaller brush, getting in there, cutting out those details. I don't know, should we get in there with black first, do you think? Probably.
Oh my goodness, so much happening in chat right now. Hold on. You're very nice, KG.
That's interesting. Ed Sheeran, you say? I'm not so sure. It's funny, I've thinned this black paint enough, it's almost acting like a contrast paint. We're not going to leave it like that, but it is acting pretty satisfyingly like a contrast paint, which is pretty funny. But it's not going to stay like that. Who sings? I know you're not talking about I sing. You're all talking about Ed Sheeran sings? Yeah, he sings. No, you're not talking about I sing. At least the straps on this side of his armor make sense. On this side, I'm not following them.
But, starting to lay down those straps.
Well, bro, what do you mean you guess? That's fucked up. Of course it's cute. The girl says she guess. That's crazy. I'm starting to get the model. I'm starting to understand this model. I think maybe.
It's taken me long enough, but I'm starting to get it.
All right, just gonna keep hitting these straps.
Where can I go?
Do any boots right now? You know, do any boots? Alright. I'm going back with some Xandri dust and a smaller brush and cleaning stuff up where we went over. Saves a lot of time to just do this all in one step. Are we calling that black right there? Let's just paint that green, honestly. Hold on. Let me paint this section. Yeah, that was the right move. All right, cool.
Oh, it looks good so far. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
doing a second coat on these straps real quick. All right. What's up, Francois? Glad you could stop by. So glad you could stop by. Let's continue to clean up those straps down there. All right. Messy ass paint job. It's okay. We're taking care of it. Mm. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling all that, Francois. You know, I find personally that the more I isolate my enjoyment of the hobby, the healthier I feel. And the more free I feel to enjoy the hobby, you know? Like with the Army on Parades thing recently, you know? A bummer how they dropped the ball there. But I'm while a lot of people want to get caught up on talking about it and just sharing how upset they are, which is a valuable thing. I just prefer to, move on personally. That's just how I do things, but everyone does things differently. And, the the more you're able to find solo enjoyment and stuff, the less the actions of other people. The more insulated you are from the actions of other people, because unfortunately you can't control the actions of other people, and you certainly can't control the actions of a company like Games Workshop. Yeah, I understand that. I will say, when they talk about the Warhammer, when Games Workshop internally talks about the Warhammer customer, they talk about the 5 archetypes of the casual player, the competitive player, the figure painter, or there might actually be more, but there's like the figure painter, the like I'm a diorama make the the end result being that of all the different archetypes that they're investing time into, I'm a developing the game for, the only a portion of those archetypes actually involve the playing of the game, and everything else, the playing of the game is the only part of Warhammer that like necessitates um like actually interacting with someone else. That's not to say that you can't, paint miniatures with someone like we're doing right now. But, I definitely am coming at this from someone who, from the painting and the assembling and, reading the lore and stuff like that, the playing of the game is my lowest priority, it's the thing I'm least interested in, is playing the game. But I also recognize there's a lot of people for whom playing the game is the most important thing. And that's understandable. It's a game. But it's also a game where you gotta paint up, you know, 50 or 100 little toy soldiers. So, I do just generally find that the more you connect your enjoyment, the more you rely on other people for your enjoyment in the hobby, the more you're setting yourself up for a disappointment, unfortunately. And that's with everything. That's not tabletop gaming exclusive. That's just my experience. the extent of me sharing the hobby with other people is more or less what's happening right here. Oh yeah, that's absolutely not. Yeah, I would absolutely not say that Warhammer is necessarily positive for your mental health. I'd say any hobby, and not any hobby, most hobbies are good for you in the sense that it is better to be doing something than to be doing nothing. And you know, but no, and there's such a problem in the community of like exhibitionist consumption, if that makes sense. Oh, look at my pile of shame. I have 10 box sets I haven't even opened. These people have hundreds and hundreds of miniatures. Um and it's like, that's not that it's celebrated, because people will refer to it as a pile of shame, but they do that very tongue in cheek. They do that jokingly. And overconsumption is something that's like, and not overconsumption only, but like unhealthy consumption. Uh of just like having to have more miniatures than you could ever paint, essentially. And I get that. It's not like that's, there's elements of the Games Workshop business model that makes that inherent. Like, it's definitely on purpose. It's supposed to be like that. But no, there's definitely and how much of, you know, how much of like content in the community is people being like, "Oh, I fixed blah blah blah. What's wrong with blah blah blah?" It's a yeah, the idea that like um what that like I mean, yeah, that like just sitting and painting is like necessarily good for you, or that like a competitive game is good for you. That's certainly not true. I can tell you, I played competitive Counter Strike, which is like a video game, obviously, but played competitive Counter Strike pretty seriously for a few years, and it was awful for my health. So terrible for my health, both my physical and my mental. And so it's just one of those things. What do we want to do? Do I not have a gray? Do I not have like Administorum Gray or something? That's outrageous. Hmm. What do we want to do your belt as? I guess we'll do it black. Shit. Like Squidmar miniatures, which is not a you know not a channel I would necessarily endorse. Um, has a new series where they're going around the world and finding people with these huge backlogs and helping people paint them. And I understand the concept, but it's also like it just adds into this sort of celebrated overconsumption. I'm not trying to get all fucking heady about. Not trying to get all professor about, but everyone is very tongue in cheek when they shit. Oh, I hope my wife doesn't find out that I bought. Hope my wife doesn't find out that I bought 3 of the Krieg set. Oh, $600. Hope she doesn't find out. Like, and that's its own thing. This idea of the not sell the joking or the oh, my wife would hate if she found out about this joke. That's just, I don't know. I think that says a lot. That's just me though. But no, I would definitely agree with your consensus that Warhammer is not a necessarily positive
Thing for one's mental health.
Also, it's like if you're in a if you're not like, I don't know, I'm obviously not a doctor, but if you're like not feeling good mentally, I would not be reading some Warhammer lore. I mean, maybe you can feel good because you're like, thank God I don't live in that world, but like imagine like feeling so bad, like being super depressed, and you read like the Night Lord books or something. What the fuck? Like, again, maybe I'm not in everyone's head. Maybe that's just something that would make you feel better. But I think it's good for mental health in the same way any interest or hobby is. It's no different from if my hobby was golfing.
If I was at the driving range right now.
But if I started spending all my money at the driving range, or all my time at the driving range, so much so that my relationship started to suffer, I had financial issues, if I, you know, went into like, if I had to like take out loans to keep playing golf and all this, then it would represent something that is a problem and is negatively impacting you. And there are a lot of people who will show you all these miniatures that they have that they won't get to, and they probably bought those on a credit card. Like they probably don't even own those. Like yeah, they own them, but like they haven't finished paying for them. If it's on a credit card, they haven't like, I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, very real.
Yeah, I'm around your son. I'm around your son's age, it sounds like. And just personally, I'm just not an entirely sociable person, so that's why I don't really elect to go hang out in the game stores. When I was a younger dude and I played Magic the Gathering a lot, go to the game stores a lot more, but Warhammer definitely has a much more Warhammer is like skateboarding. Stay with me. Stay with me here. Warhammer is like skateboarding. It is not easy to necessarily. It's not easy to learn. It's not easy to pick up the basics of. It's not easy to advance from the basics. Um, it if you want it to be your interest, it has to be a fairly consuming interest. And that barrier to entry is a lot of what makes it special. And a lot of people will like a cry that like, oh, this is oh, you're like off-putting new players or things like that. And I do agree with that. Uh, at the same time, I think a lot of the appeal, at least to some people, is the idea that like, well, I earned it, I had to I had to read the books. I learned what I learned all the different successor chapters and shit like that, you know. And I think that a lot of people, I don't think that there's anything wrong with having pride in gaining an understanding or knowledge or a skill that is hard to obtain, and feeling when people I'm a decry that and say that it's inaccessible when you accessed it. It's kind of like a whack situation. I'm sorry, I went totally on a tangent. Yeah, that is true. I was lucky enough to have my father very present in my life, and it sounds like your sons are similarly fortunate. But I know that a nauseating amount of young men are not that fortunate and do not have any real guidance. It is a very sad situation. Oh shit. Totally slipped my finger there. When I was picking up some paint in the game store the other day, I did see it was a Magic game. It looked like a Commander game. It was a group of like three like middle school aged kids and like a man in his 60s. It was sweet. Thanks. Cleaning up his boots a little bit. And we're just kind of at that point where we're chasing all the details around. We're almost ready to start on his gun and then his face and arm. Where are we at? Hour and a half. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Mm. I follow. I follow where you're going. I understand. The the radical tolerance that is intolerant. I understand where you're going. Unfortunately, a lot of that I think comes down to the culture that surrounds a Games Workshop. I mean, it's from the UK. They don't think are different over there with how they conduct things. Gotta be careful what you say over there. Like in a legal sense. Yeah, I understand that. That's also just a bigger cultural thing, you know. I wish that was hobby exclusive. That's unfortunately the case all over. You know, Francois, the chastisement culture. You know, chastise is a good word for how people act. They do chastise because it's exactly that, annoying and inconsequential. Um, but that environment was very much what I experienced when I was away at college. I was not a fan of that. That's certainly not exclusive to everyone's college experience. But the college that I went to very much was characterized by that. I mean, colleges nowadays are their own whole thing. Boom, 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 boom. Just hitting his metallic bits right now.
In these shiny bits.
Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting quandary. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think the one more sale is always going to be what Games Workshop is interested in, at least.
Thank you, thank you. It's coming together a little bit.
I think we'll probably do this kill team like we did the last one. We'll base coat them all, and then we'll do all the washes and highlights on all of them in one day. I like doing it that way, personally. All right. I might take this moment to switch out my water, my fucking swamp water. Nice. All right, I'm gonna go change out my swamp water right now. Ew! All right, we're back. Is Grimdark for children or is it more for teens? I don't. That's tough to say, cause it's like. I mean, to go back to the Night Lords example, I wouldn't have a child read the Night Lords books. I don't need to explain. The child doesn't need to know about the homunculata, but like, I think that the ability of the Grimdark setting to kind of mirror history is where it's very potent, especially with the weird approach people are taking to talking about history now, choosing to omit the more uncomfortable parts of it. Uh, a lot of the factions in Warhammer are based on countries, and a lot of the lore events are based on historical or historical events, or allusions to uh, religious events. So, I think it's the grimdark is just an extreme of reality, uh, and it's just a type of art. Uh, yeah, you know, it's tough, certainly, but to be fair, it's not any worse than the grimdark setting is no worse than the actual threats that children face growing up today. So, what do I know? Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Yeah, Warhammer is not I mean, it's not a game for children. I mean, what is it? What's the age rating on here? This shit gotta have an age rating. I mean, it's not for children, but it's not like, you know what I mean. It is not inherently child friendly. Like I just mentioned the homunculaba. Like, you don't. That's not a child friendly thing. But no, that's definitely a parent's judgment thing. It needs to be up to the parent's judgment. And unfortunately, a lot of parents have really shitty judgment nowadays. I also don't think that attitude is necessarily entirely Warhammer specific. The culture around gaming stores nowadays is very interesting, we'll say.
Interesting is the word we'll use.
We don't got any cadmium, so we could be drinking it straight sipping on Nuln oil. You know, 10 likes and I take a shot of Nuln oil. I'm not doing that, so don't leave a like thinking that's gonna happen. It's like I'll tell you, Francois. It's like how people apparently some people get weird about people playing like the German units in what's that World War II game? Bolt Action. Apparently, people get weird about people playing like the German units in that, but it's like it's a historical war game. Like, what do you? It's a historical war game set in World War II. Like what? Like what's supposed to happen? Pay my pee like a minion? That's crazy. We're just continuing to coat this into blue, into blue. Have I ever asked for manly advice from an older man in the presence of a woman? I can't say so. You know what I thought was really interesting was I was in a game store recently. You'll get a kick out of this, Francois. Um it wasn't even like it was an actual Warhammer store. It was a Games Workshop store. Um and some guys were talking about because they had just got a restock of the Krieg Kill Team box. And um these two guys were talking, and when I say, he goes to his friend, yeah, and I don't see why people are saying there can't be female Krieg guardsmen. I mean, it's a whole planet. I mean, there's gonna be some females. Come on, come on, man. Now, I will say, I'm 90% sure he was saying this, and he said it like loud too. It was embarrassing. I'm 90% sure he said this to impress the female employee at the Warhammer store. But regardless, first of all, the guardsmen in the Death Corps of Krieg are clones, so they actually are all male. It's not like the Cadians. Second of all, to distinguish them as, oh yeah, that's a female one, they all wear gas masks. You can't tell. You're doing that just to be like, yeah, I have a female one. Look how I'm a 6'4" feminist, by the way. Like it was very cringe. And my girlfriend was with me, and she also was like, that's embarrassing that he would talk like that. I'm like, yep, that is embarrassing of him. It was just so clearly like a, yeah, look how, oh my god, look how forward thinking I am. Huge dick, by the way. Right, we're gonna end up dry brushing the gun, but that'll probably be when we do the highlights on everything, like I was saying. I'll wait to do all this silver shit. I don't want to do that right now. Let's mix up his skin tone. Lore accurate skin tone. All the Cadians are white. That's just the lore. Yeah, KG. I'm pretty sure he said that. I'm pretty sure he said that so that the girl working there would think that he's like super good to women or something. I don't know. It was pretty cringe. I don't necessarily think it's a problem of him acting weird. I don't think the issue is like, oh, the girl was there, so he acted weird. I think the issue is just that he's weird. I think that he's just a weird person for acting like that. Like for if you're changing your actions that much to try to get the attention of another person, you're just like a weird and desperate person, and I don't think a change of setting is gonna change that. I think personal growth is the only thing that's gonna change that. That's just me though.
Really shaking this shit.
It is often hard to tell what people really think and what they're just saying to like look cool or to get approval from an in-group. That's very real. That's definitely a thing that happens, very much so. And at the end of the day, I don't want to. The guy's only acting like that. The guy's only acting like. Yeah, I'm like such a super feminist, by the way. I like love the idea of women in the military. I just love it. Like, he's only acting like that because he doesn't. He either doesn't have the confidence or the understanding of how to like engage with a woman or even another person, like like he just doesn't know how to engage, just doesn't know how to act with people, because that's like yeah, absolutely, Francois. You're a super cool guy to come by and talk to. I'm glad you could stop by. We're always happy to see you. You always make the stream better. Bum, bum, bum. I will say, I don't think because I know that this is. I want to touch on the female custodies real quick. We're going to touch on it so fast, and it's going to be like it didn't even happen because it's a cringe topic. The female custodies, I only see as an issue because it is an interesting fantasy and sci-fi trope to have gender exclusive fighting organizations or disciplines or whatever you want to call it. If they added, and it doesn't have anything to do with like, oh well, it used to be all boys and they added girls to the boys. It's that like it has the potential to ruin the flavor of the lore. Like, you know, if they added male Sisters of Battle, that shit would be whack. That shit would be so whack. The Sisters of Battle are so cool. They're such a cool faction. And they said like, oh yeah, there's dudes in it now. Which like I know that like they work in the Inquisition, so like they obviously work with men and stuff. But like, you know what I mean. I think, you know, the gender adding, I think it goes both ways. And that's not to say that like I don't think that there should be armies where there's male and female units together. Obviously for stuff where it makes sense in the lore, like with like the Acadians, like that makes a lot of sense. That's a warrior society. And there's like a lot of the stories involve like female Acadians and female Acadian leaders. I will say, I've literally never been there when it's her off day. That girl must have sold Games Workshop her soul, because I have literally never seen her not work a day in that store. But I know exactly what you're talking about. The vibe of these nerdy dudes, of these dorky dudes, when they feel like they're under pressure because they're around women is notably different. I understand what you're trying to say, and I wouldn't disagree. But if I had a friend and I knew that my friend was gonna like start acting weird as soon as we got around chicks, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, we can't hang out around chicks. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna hang out with you because you're weird. That's just me. And of course, there are, you know, when I hang out with just dudes versus when I hang out with a mixed group, of course it's a different vibe, and of course it's different banter. Of course, different things are talked about that wouldn't be talked about otherwise. In the same way that when women are talking about things, when men aren't around, I'm sure it's something different than they talk about when we are around. But I certainly don't let that occupy my mind. Not worried about that at all. Bum bum. Yeah, that I would agree with that. Agree with that, Miss Mello. Boom, boom. I appreciate everyone stopping by. Good to see everyone. Boom, boom, boom. There's some silver on this piping right here. But yeah, Mellow Angel was there with me that day when I don't think she was here in the stream when I was telling the story earlier, but I'm sure she'll remember when we were in the Games Workshop store and the dude was talking about of course I'm gonna include female soldiers in my I'm a Death Guard of Krieg army, and he was clearly just doing it because clearly just doing it to impress the employee. It was silly. I wanted to be anywhere else. I do understand that. I do feel so bad when I see people post stuff where they're like, I can't find a boyfriend at the bar. It's time to join a running club. That shit makes me so like sad almost, because it is like, bro, these people are just here to don't turn the running club into the dating club. Yeah, I think the problem on both ends is people always having this, certain people, both male and female, always having this like
Hunter on the prowl attitude.
This hunter on the prowl attitude of like, I always got to be looking for my next date, and I don't, you know, does prevent things from being fun. Boom, boom. I will say to the contrary, I don't think there's necessarily
Um,
a wealth of women who are thinking that the hobby shop is where they're gonna find their next man. I don't think that's really a pervasive. I don't really think it's pervasive reasoning necessarily.
um,
Boom, boom.
hold on, what's going down in chat? What's happening?
Interesting. If you I'm a Francois. If you don't mind me asking, are you currently married or are you I'm a divorced? And I understand that's a personal question. Just interested in the just interested in your backstory and your context, your characterization. Oh, you're a monk. Oh. So if you don't mind me asking, that's cool. Like, I mean, that being like, I'm a 40K and stuff. Like, if you're a monk, I assume you're like mad religious, like super religious, obviously, because it's your entire life. So, is 40K like cool? Like you're like that's not like because it has like other gods and shit. Is that like acceptable? I'm not saying that from a place of judgment. I'm saying that from a place of questioning. Or are you saying you're a monk in more of like a metaphorical sense?
I thought you said you had. I thought you said you had kids.
Y'all stop fighting. Dun, dun, dun. I will say that Tyler is awful for my mental health. Y'all know it. Y'all have seen it. I get closer to death every moment I spend with Tyler. Boom. Oh, thank you for the more Red Bulls. Yo, have you tried the pink Red Bulls? The pink Red Bulls are fire. All right, Bones Fan 2K official Red Bull power ranking, guys. You gotta enjoy your Red Bulls now. F1 season starts soon. After that, if I catch you with a fucking Red Bull after F1 season starts, I swear to fucking God, we are not drinking Red Bulls. We are not drinking Red Bulls once the season starts. At the top, we got that. The lime green one. Ooh, all right, hold on. At the very top, actually, we got the old green one, the dragon fruit. Can't find that shit anymore though. That shit's so fire. I flicked the top of the X-Acto knife away as a joke. I need to find that. Ugh. No, I'm not. I'm not like. I'm certainly not trying to invoke any judgment on your beliefs. I'm just curious. I know a lot of people used to not like. used to have that pattern of thinking towards like a Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy RPGs. So, I'm just no judgment. I'm just chilling.
Don't have caffeine. Mm.
Caffeine is excellent. All right. Sorry. The old discontinued green at the top, then the lime green, then we got the pink, then we got the blue, no. There's like the Juneberry. What the fuck color is that one? That's another blue. That is blue actually. Because then there's blueberry. That's not the blue I'm talking about. That one's way at the bottom with like apricot or whatever. Those are in the untouchables. Boom. You say you're a veteran. What branch were you in? Was it a cool branch? You say coffee's okay. I thought you said you can't have caffeine. Army. Cool. All right, let's see. Let's get our little blood going. So we really want it to soak in through there. So we're going to do water and then a little bit of our flow improver to break that surface tension. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Nice dark word bearers red. Take a sip of coffee. I'm a coffee. I'm a mild coffee enjoyer, I'd say. Not that bad. It's not bad. Meh. Oh, I should be keeping my paints. You. Who else? You. You. All of these? Nice. Kept it limited today. Let's go out of there, yeah. Oops, sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Like a brown red. We're gonna get some sanguine scarlet in there to really color it brightly. Ba-ba-bum. We're actually gonna use pure red. Pure red. War Painter, or from Army Painter War Paints, rather. That's what I meant to say. All right. Just a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm making some forbidden concoction here. Smells crazy. What if we did add a little sanguine scarlet? It's a little too brown. I don't like how brown it looks. I'm making soup. Okay, okay. Nice. Bunch of new shorts. That's fire. Slightest bit of overspill. We're just gonna fix that real quick. But yeah, that blown off hand is actually looking exactly how I want it to. That's the first coat of his exploded hand. Oh no, his hand. It's so fucking mangled. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I guess if you did buy it long enough ago, inflation hedge. You get approached by young men a lot. Interesting.
All right, just threw 3 little silver dots on the back. Oh, let me show. 3 little silver dots on the back.
Da-da. All right, let's clean it up with some more of that. With more of that mustache man green. If I hear something contradictory to everything I know, do I dismiss it or want to know more? I guess it depends. It depends who and what the source is, and it depends what or who it's contradicting. I'll let that dot on the scope dry. Let's see if I can show you that. I like how that looks.
On his little scope. Nice.
We'll do the face later. We save the faces. We're not doing those right now. We are not doing the face right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess, I suppose. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to put yourself in that kind of scenario where it's like, yeah. If I would agree. It's always important to stay open to things, and I will answer with it is important to be simultaneously open to new ideas and skeptical at the same time. And that will be my blanket statement on it. That's probably probably the safest and most applicable statement I can give.
All right, throwing down just those little silver details. All right. Just hitting these little details. All right, just trying to get these studs on his armor all painted and lined. I'm gonna throw a dot of white down. You like the little details? Thank you, thank you. Here, let's see if we can get all those little shiny studs.
Just to try to break it up a little bit. And we're going to end up doing on his shoulder pads probably some sort of detailing as well. Alright. On his little range finder.
Swing.
Swing. You know, Francois, I was thinking on your flat in your response to the flat earth example, where you're like, oh well, I want to know what makes them think it's flat. Oh my god. Sorry, y'all. That I can kind of understand. I'll sometimes watch YouTube videos from people that I'm like, oh, this is a crazy dude. But then I'll watch his whole video because I'm like, I want to see what this dude thinks. Now, there's no point where I'm like, I don't go into it being like, maybe he'll convince me. But like, all right, we just put a little drop of black down the barrel of his gun. Just do a few more cleanup lines, and I think we'll be done. Obviously, excepting his face. His face still needs to get done. We're just not doing it today. Put a little bit more blood on his stump. Let's hit his hands one more time, and I think we'll call it a day. All right. Let's take a run at his eyes right now. Can we go to Barnes tomorrow? Yeah, we can absolutely go to Barnes and Noble. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I keep finding more things that need to get fixed before we can finish up. Alright, let that dry for a few minutes. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Let me clean up. I'm so messy. Play some Mario Kart. Where's that coming from? I could potentially do Mario Kart. I don't know what the plan with Tyler is, honestly. Oh, whoa, whoa, I'm throwing shit. Ugh. Go. I actually think it ended up pretty good. Hold on, let me clean it up and I'll show it to you. Y'all can just pass me around like a football. You know, I'll so take that. Come on. Also take that. It's really not perfect, but it'll do. It still needs, obviously, shades and highlights and stuff, but I think we're going to call him good for now. All right, guys, I think we're going to call it there. Not sure if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, but you know, the best way to check if I will be is to just join that Discord right down there. Right down there. Just join that Discord. You'll know when I'm streaming, when Tyler's streaming. It's just real convenient that way. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. Really enjoyed having everyone stop by. It was great to see everyone. Hope to see you again in the future. That is 1 out of 10 base coded. See you. Oh, I should do it with this thumb. See you soon.